What is up, 12s? Man, do I have a lot to get into today. This is going to hit every one of you right in the heart. From the fans who lost their voices at Lumen Field to the ones who stayed up all night celebrating our Super Bowl run. We reached the mountaintop, but the cost of success is officially calling, and today's news is a total emotional roller coaster. We are talking about a historic award being overshadowed by total disrespect, a contract nightmare that could tear our defense apart, and a major shakeup on the coaching staff. You seriously won't believe what is going down. So grab your coffee, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into it. We are pushing for 1,000 subscribers to keep this community growing. So make sure you hit that join button too. Imagine being the best on the planet at what you do, reaching the pinnacle of the world, and then right at your coronation, someone tries to steal your shine with a cheap joke. That is exactly the whirlwind Jackson Smith-Njigba has been dealing with lately. What should have been a celebration of a legendary season for the Seattle Seahawks turned into a social media firestorm. JSN was named the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, a feat that puts his name right next to the absolute icons of the game. But the announcement by comedian Drewski honestly just felt wrong. By intentionally butchering our star's name, he wasn't just being disrespectful. He was trying to turn a sacred career moment into a bit for himself. The 12s were rightfully heated because Jackson's numbers demand respect. We are talking 119 catches, nearly 1,800 yards, and 10 touchdowns leading the league. He wasn't just good. He was the engine that dragged us to the finish line. While Drewski was on CBS Mornings trying to walk it back, saying he just took the joke too far and that he tried to reach out with no response, JSN showed total class. He wasn't even there in person because he was locked in on what actually mattered, which was bringing that Lombardi trophy home to the 206. In his pre-recorded message, he showed exactly why he is the soul of this roster. He talked about faith and the wisdom he gained after sliding to the 20th pick in the draft. He used that slide as fuel to prove every other team in this league made a massive mistake. His whole strategy was just silence and focus. Even when he was doubled and limited to a few yards in Super Bowl, his mere presence on the field created the space we needed to dismantle the Patriots 29-13. He is now only the fourth wideout this century to take home this hardware, and he's got the ring to match the trophy on his mantle. This whole drama with Drewski just proves that while some people are out here chasing clout, our guys are out here chasing immortality. A comedian's disrespect doesn't change the fact that we have one of the greatest talents in franchise history. But if you think dealing with celebrity egos was the biggest hurdle this week, just wait until you see what the NFL salary cap is about to do to our championship roster. And while we are all still buzzing over that JSN disrespect, the reality of the NFL business side is here to ruin the party. Look, the Super Bowl tax is a real thing, and it is starting to hurt. The Seahawks are facing a dilemma that could completely change the face of the team we just watched lift the trophy. ESPN's Matt Bowen dropped a total bombshell that puts us in a corner. 5 of our biggest contributors are hitting the open market as top-tier free agents, and the front office is going to have to make some impossible choices. The cap space is tight, the pressure is through the roof, and our chance at a repeat is on the line. On one side you have the offense, and on the other you have the literal pillars of our elite defense. The top priority seems to be keeping the weapons around Sam Darnold. Kenneth Walker III, the literal Super Bowl MVP, and the human highlight reel Rashid Shaheed are at the very top of the must-sign list. Walker is the heartbeat of this offense, the guy who punished the Patriots, and he has already said he wants to stay in Seattle. Shaheed is that constant deep threat and return specialist that you just cannot replace. The nightmare is that to keep that offensive firepower, the price might be tearing down our secondary. Reports are suggesting that Rick Woolen, Boy Mafe, and Kobe Bryant might find better financial fits with teams like the Jets, Titans, or even the Patriots team we just beat. It honestly hurts to think about Woolen in another jersey after everything he has done here, but John Schneider's strategy might be colder than we think. There's a lot of talk behind the scenes about guys like Josh Jobe and Ty Okada, who were solid and cheap backups, stepping into those starting roles. It is a massive gamble. We are talking about replacing the core pieces of a championship defense with names that are unproven as full-time leaders. The fan base is totally split right now. Do we make sure Walker keeps running for 1,000 yards, or do we keep the Legion of Boom 2.0 intact? The clock is ticking, and the league is already circling our stars like vultures. And if you think losing players is bad, what is happening in the coaching offices is a whole different level of betrayal. If you think roster turnover is the only headache, the drama happening in the coach's room is a complete saga of its own. Success comes at a high price, and the Seahawks are paying it in the most painful way by losing brilliant minds to the competition. The news that really shook the building was offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, leaving to take the head job with the Raiders. But what really stings is that he isn't going alone. He is trying to raid our staff and take half of our brain trust to Las Vegas, creating a leadership void that caught a lot of people off guard. The front office moved fast to stop the bleeding by promoting Justin Alden to run game coordinator. That was a genius move to keep talent in the building, especially since the Raiders were desperate to interview him for that exact same role. Seattle shut that down fast, blocked the interview, and made sure he got his promotion right here in the Pacific Northwest. Alden was the secret sauce for our ground game in 2025, and his promotion shows the team wants to keep the identity that got us a ring. Still, the vibe at the facility is pretty tense. We already lost Andrew Janako, our quarterback's coach, and the veteran Rick Dennison followed Kubiak's call. This coaching exodus is a huge red flag for the continuity of our system. The question everyone is asking at the sports bars right now is how Mike Macdonald is going to rebuild this staff while having a massive target on his back as the defending champ. Promoting Brian Fleury to offensive coordinator is a big bet on a familiar face, but losing so many support pieces could really shake things up. We are seeing a legitimate brain drain in Seattle right when we need stability to figure out the future of stars like Kenneth Walker III. Keeping the band together is feeling like mission impossible. We just have to hope the winning DNA we planted is strong enough to survive this forced makeover. Winning the Super Bowl was a literal dream come true, but being the champ means fighting a daily war to stay at the top. Between the disrespect toward Jackson Smith-Njigba, the massive contract calls for Kenneth Walker III, and the coaching staff heading for the exits, the challenge of 2026 is going to be proving Seattle wasn't a one-hit wonder, but a real dynasty. What would you do? Would you keep the high-flying offense or sacrifice the stars to save our elite defense? Let me know in the comments. If you are a 12 for life, drop a like and subscribe. Let's hit that 1,000 sub goal for the Hawks.